Yeah. Mm. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the I Speak Good podcast, the final episode of season 1 of the I Speak Good podcast. I believe that makes this episode 11. My name is Dump Truck. I'm the head honcho around these parts. And this podcast is all about telling people stories and sharing stories. And I really enjoy the fact that I get to catch up with a lot of my great friends who I don't get to spend a lot of time talking with. And I just get to dig deeper into who they are, and it just makes me love them even more. And this is no exception to that rule. This episode is featuring Miss Rae Ripple, who is an absolutely talented, artistic human being and a driven woman who has set him up and knocked him down several times and continues to do so as she progresses through this amazing life that she's created for herself. And towards the end, we get a nice little cameo with the husband, my good homie Evan. It's really great to see him. And of course, as always, the Ice Be Good podcast is supported by Rider Justice. They are the ones to call if you ever have an accident or have any questions about everything in the motorcycle experience, from what insurance coverage should I have to really protect myself in case of an accident. What do I do during an accident? What do I do after an accident? Like, these are the questions that we need answers to a lot. The great thing about Rider Justice is when you call them, you get Scott on the phone. And if Scott is not on the phone, it is someone on his staff in his office that, if they don't have the answers, they will find them for you and get back to you. They have that amazing personal touch. RiderJustice.com is where you can find out most of their information. Instagram is Motorcycle Rider Justice. And actually, I caught up with Mr. Scott O'Sullivan not long ago. So before we get into Rae Ripple's interview, there's some words from Mr. O'Sullivan himself. And off camera, we were talking a little bit about a recent story that was told about, another lawyer not even using a law put in place to protect the riders out there. So it sounds like the education never stops. What was the deal?
Hey, Dump Truck, man. It's good seeing you, brother. So yeah, I just got off this call a half hour ago. I had a rider who was hit by this woman who wasn't paying attention, made a left-hand turn in front of our guy. She almost took his leg. And years ago, back in 2019, I was able to help write and advocate for, on behalf of motorcycle riders, this law called the Vulnerable User Bill. And essentially what it was set up for is this exact scenario. When you hit motorcycle riders, when you hit pedestrians, bicyclists, stuff like that, it can't just be like a 4-point penalty for, causing bodily injury, careless driving causing bodily injury. That's just bullshit, right? To be honest.
That's unbalanced, right? Because a little oops is a big hospital bill at the very least.
That's right. And our guy's been out of work now for 3 months. And he's in a wheelchair still. And this happened back in September, and he's not going to be out of the wheelchair until sometime after the new year. So we're talking with the prosecutor. He's a great guy, super nice, seems young. And I'm like, hey, by the way, I helped write this law called the Vulnerable User Bill. It kicks up the penalties to 12 points in community service and a whole bunch of other things. Why don't you use that? Well, I don't know. I think it was for pedestrians. I'm like, I quite literally wrote it. Please go to Section 8 and take a look there. It says motorcycles, and they're included. I need you to do that for me. If nothing else, please use it as leverage against this person. At a minimum, I want the full penalty, and so does my client. But you can't just let these people get away with a 4-point little slap on the wrist when this poor guy, broken arms, broken legs, the whole 9 yards. That's not okay. That's not equal. That's not justice. So that's basically why I set up Rider Justice.
Yeah, I mean, you sound pretty fired up about it.
I'm still pissed. I'm sorry.
And I appreciate that about you,
Yeah, I'm happy to teach him. But what it tells me, though, this is every time I talk to a prosecutor, I ask them if they're going to use this, because almost all our cases, I help my clients, advocate with the prosecutor to get the full penalties against the driver. And I have to do this over and over again. And I passed this law. I was literally at the signing with the governor 6 years ago. So What's taking so long? Come on, guys, use it. It's there. It's a tool. It was for this purpose.
Well,
So
I feel better. And I mean, I can literally feel more confident on a ride knowing that there's people like you, Scott, out there that are literally fighting for us behind our backs, even when we're completely unaware. And the fight continues even after you get the law enacted and put into place. You still have to continue to fight for it and remind people that it exists. And that's what's going to help our community at the end of the day. And that is what rider justice is all about.
yeah, I mean, it is quite literally why I set it up a number of years ago. It's almost 10 years now. It was the advocacy arm of my law firm at first for doing charity work and advocacy in the legislature. I helped pass a law. It took 7 years to pass a law in Colorado to get phones out of people's hands. It's
Wow,
ridiculous.
7 years. My goodness.
7 years.
What a shame.
Yeah, what a shame. That's at that point it's a 10% difference per year. So far this year, I think we've already saved almost 90 lives. And so think
Wow.
about it. 7 years times 9. I'm a lawyer. I don't do math like that. I only can do it in percentages. But that's hundreds of lives, right? That could have been saved if we had passed this law, 7, 8 years ago. It's crazy.
Well, if people are looking for a source of information, where can they find the info that Rider Justice has to offer?
Yeah, so the best place to go is riderjustice.com. We have all sorts of different resource pages. We have all the kind of insurance I wish all riders would buy wherever you live in the country. It's all basically the same. Or you can find us and Cherie, my right hand woman, will always get mad at me, but I always get this wrong, and you'll make it right. It's I think it's Motorcycle Rider Justice as our handle out there in the world for Instagram and Facebook and things like that. So,
Well, she won't get mad at you now. You nailed it.
oh, hey, shocking.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for joining us again, Scott. And really, I'm very grateful for the support of the I Speak Good podcast.
Yeah, love you, brother.
That's right. That's right. I speak good. Also, falsetto's good. It's
Very
a thing.
good.
It
Very
is.
good.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am excited to introduce my dear friend, Miss Rae Ripple, fabricator, inspiration, awesome human extraordinaire. And how are you doing? I'm so happy to have you.
I am doing so good. This has been the greatest year of my life. So very well. Very, very, very well. How are you? How are you doing? How's life at
I'm
home?
awesome.
You just at home body you?
I know. I'm starting to collect dust. It's really good. I actually
I'm
just
starting to
realized that I'm
collect that.
still wearing my staff shirt from work today.
Ah.
I have a job now.
That's all right.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's been really cool. Like starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm. It's really nice always being able to come home and see Sabine and the dog and everyone still misses me, and that's nice.
Oh yeah, of course. What's not to miss? We all love you.
Oh, yay, hugs. Well, the way that we roll is we go in a timeline kind of a situation, but one of the first things I always like to ask is, as an artist and as a professional, what was like the one choice that really started to steer your way anywhere close to what you're doing now? Like there had to be an aha moment of some sort.
Uh,
And
n- there is, but it's not gonna make any sense. I bought a cake pan from a garage sale when my daughter was like 2 or 3, and it was a Care Bear, like sitting up on a table in Indian style Care Bear cake. And on the outside of the box, it looked like it was pretty doable, but honestly, looking back, it was like kind of gonna take a skill to make this thing look like a Care Bear, because have you ever seen the what you think you can do versus what it really turns out, like Pinterest
oh yeah.
fails and things like that. This 100% should have been that moment for me. Now, the cake looked so awesome. It looked so awesome. It looked exactly like the box, except for it was not done in the middle, which was okay because it looked awesome. But when we took it to Chuck E. Cheese, and this is why it doesn't make any sense. When we took it to Chuck E. Cheese for her birthday party, um, the I don't know who is calling me. My phone is blowing up over here. So when we took it to Chuck E. Cheese, like people that weren't even a part of our party were like, "Hey, who made your cake? Who made your cake? How do I get a cake like that?" And I started making cakes. Now, it doesn't make any sense of how it's connected into my work and what I do now, but it all started with making cakes. Um,
Well, keep the ricochet going. So from cakes,
okay.
it went to what?
So cakes, I'll tell you, there's a story within cakes. So there's like,
Hey,
there's roots
guess
there,
what? We're here to tell stories today. So
Exactly. So there's roots there. So basically, after the birthday party, I kind of was like, maybe I could do this, to make a little extra money on the side. So I also needed another job. So I got a job at Walmart making cakes in the bakery to kind of teach me the skill of cakes. And so I was like making cakes at the Walmart bakery, and I was trying to attempt to do it at home as well on the weekends or on my days off or whatever, and selling those like on the side. And then I got kind of good at it. So then people would like come to Walmart to order a cake, and I'd be like, yo, I can make that better, you know?
no.
So I was like hustling Walmart for cakes, and I was making cakes on the side. Um, so
That's gangster, yo.
it was. So,
Is that the name of your
eventually,
bakery? Was it Gangster Bakery? Get
uh,
Gangster Cakes?
it should have been. Now so I like made cakes for a long time, and then, the Boss show came out, and when that show came out, like the market became saturated, and I had so many orders, but people wanted like $500 cakes for $50. And
Right.
I was always breaking even and wasn't making any money anymore. So I was just like, you know what? I'm out of it. So then I got out of cakes, and then I kind of didn't really do anything for a little bit. And then um, I had my kids very young, and so while all my friends and people I knew were out like partying and like hooking up and dating and all that kind of stuff, I was just kind of like at home with two kids. So after I put the kids to bed, I started like painting things, like just things in my house or, just the coffee table and then like the end tables. And then that turned into painting crosses on things and then painting flowers on things. And then my fence got tore down, and then I had this wild idea. How can I make a wooden set of wings? And I can send you that photo. I have the photo
Please.
still. A wooden set of wings. And I made a wooden set of wings in my like little driveway garage of my house. And so I started was like, all right, I kind of like this. And so I started painting, and then I started kind of buying canvases and buying things and like painting things, and like I would put it in my driveway at like a yard sale, and like I would sell these like paintings for like $10 or $15 or whatever. And then painting turned into, this one person brought me a piece of sheet metal and was like, "Hey, can you paint on this?" And I was like, yeah, I think so.
Sure.
So I started painting on sheet metal, and then I fell in love with sheet metal, that I quit buying canvases because the sheet metal you can get for free anywhere in West Texas. They have
Right.
bar
Yeah.
metal for free just on the side of the road, like for free. So I constantly had free canvases. And in the state of Texas, if you paint shit on a piece of metal, they'll buy it, because Texans love things like that. It's very farmhouse, like rustic or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Yard art.
yeah, so I started doing that. And then I discovered tin snips and then rivets and then baling wire, and then I started cutting with tin snips these like 2D things to put on to sheet metal and then riveting them together and baling wiring them together and and painting them as well. And then I sold my first piece in a 2D metal format for she had like $10 or $12, $13, something like that. And so like nothing expensive. And she actually gave me that piece back
No
years later.
way.
So I actually have this piece back that I sold, which would technically be the first metal piece I ever sold. And then one day I had a dream about building a sculpture in a dress, like a wedding dress or like a ballroom gown, metal sculpture. And how was I going to do it? And so I did it with like everything I had: tin snips, baling wire, sheet metal, and all collected sheet metal from the West Texas. And I built this 3D metal sculpted ballroom gown in my living room of my house. And it took me like 6 months or something like that to build it. Something absurd, which started this whole thing of like, man, I could take this to a whole nother level. He brought me pizza. I could take this to thank you. Look, guys, pizza.
That's love.
He is the best in the entire world. Okay, so anyways, so it gave me I love pizza. I love food. It's anyways,
Oh my
my
God.
neighbor had Domino's delivered and I was like, that looks delicious. So that's what I got. Anyways, so I decided I was like, I could take this to a whole nother level if I could teach myself how to weld, or if somebody could teach me how to weld. Um, Not knowing anything really about welding except for the like pipeline in West Texas, didn't grow up around it, did nothing about it. I just was curious and I felt like I could do something here. And ultimately, like, weird things in life put me in a position to learn how to weld and teach myself how to weld. Like, the truck I had was a 1989 F-150 and it constantly broke down, and I didn't have the right tools to fix it. So I would go to my friend's shop, use his tools, and he'd be fabricating on something. And I was like, yo, can I try that? And he was like, have you done it before? And I was like, I do it every day, and I never welded in my entire life. That's exactly how all this started. And it just like I became obsessed, and then I was building like I before I knew it, I was like trading like fabrication stuff that he needed done, which would basically be like grunt work, um, to use his equipment after hours. And I would build things. I would just build things. But I also was a tow truck driver at the time, and
Hell yeah.
I worked these crazy
Yes, snatching up
crashes.
people's cars,
I
baking
was
cakes, and snatching cars, and
the welding, and
I'm telling you.
so I would work these crazy crashes that would like I would thrash my tow truck, and my boss's rule was like, if you break it, you fix it. And so like weirdly, I was working on and welding on and fabricating on a Peterbilt tow truck flatbed, for years. And so like, which kind of helped develop the skills, which this is why I'm saying this is like how this all stems together. Also, while I was a tow truck driver and doing side work for this guy, I was able to save up enough money for a plasma cutter. And
Hell
then
yeah.
I worked at the tow yard, and what's there? Free body parts of cars, not people. And I would take home body parts of cars and like metal and welders and old things that were just out in this yard that nobody cared about, and I would cut them up with my plasma cutter, which weirdly, look what I do for a living now. So had I,
Right, yeah.
and on top of that, And on top of that, so being a tow truck driver, ultimately led me to the fire department because I worked a crash that really changed a lot of things for me. Now, I don't hold any credibility in the fire department whatsoever, I feel like, because I was still a rookie when I got out of it. Um, I wasn't in it long enough, and these guys served their whole life into the fire department. So I don't feel like I hold any credibility here. But I did work a crash that changed everything and made me decide to chase the fire department. So I got accepted in the academy, graduated, went to school, did, EMT, the medic thing, all the way, got hired on the department, and then my life changed when Netflix called. And so I don't have enough credibility to say anything, but had I not had that little small chapter in my life, I was in fire school and we had a fire extinguisher class. And these fire extinguishers, I didn't care what he was saying. I just wanted to know if I can use my plasma cutter on them, which ultimately ended up turning into a business where I was making these fire extinguishers on my day off from the department, and selling them to firefighters all over the world. Now, there's one thing about business, and I hope anybody's listening. If you put a Maltese cross or a thin blue line or a thin red line or a gun on something, a veteran, a firefighter, and a police officer will buy it. I promise you, they will buy it. Especially firefighters because they love Maltese crosses and and fire extinguishers. And so nobody was doing anything with fire extinguishers. I got all of them for free. They were all condemned. So I never had any overhead. It's all about the scrap, finding the free materials,
Yeah.
which turned into a business. And had that not turned into a business, somebody from Netflix found me because they saw my fire extinguishers.
No way.
And that's how I got the Netflix show. And then the rest is history. So this all stems from a cake pan I bought for my daughter's birthday. And took this damn cake to Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, Chuck E. Cheese. So how's your trauma from the Chuck E. Cheese experience?
What's really sad is when Chloe was little, she's almost 22 now. Which is we'll talk about my kids' ages here again in a second. Don't let me forget because something really weird happened to me over the last couple of days. Anyways, so Chuck E. Cheese when Chloe was little was way different than Chuck E. Cheese now. I feel like there was not near as many grody cooties in these slides the way they are now. It's like a kid just runs their whole nose down the slide and just snots down the whole thing. Like you were 100% destined to catch a different kind of
Everything.
flu every single time you go. So it started making us sick when we quit going when Cash was probably about 5. And my son's about to be 17. So, um, after that, we got tired of it. Every time we went, we got sick. So, Chuck E. Cheese, I miss early 2000s, let's bring
Yeah.
back that. That was a
Yeah.
different time.
It really was a different time, and I don't know. I'm starting to feel like I sound like an older generation in my mind, and I'm like, wait, no, I'm that generation now. To where like I'm really glad that I went through the analog years at the end, and I know what it's like to scotch tape a mixed cassette tape together that you recorded off of the radio to give to some girl like in middle school, or just like to have a cool mix to put in your Walkman.
Yeah, and you had to hold it super flat because the anti-skip didn't work anymore.
It did not work anymore. Nope. They always had a time limit where they would definitely shit the bed.
Yes,
But it's
that's
like,
true.
and getting to see the technology part start to take place, like that's also like a really cool thing to be a part of. So you can be literate in both types of worlds. But man, I really miss whenever you had to get on the telephone or use your pager codes to meet up somewhere so you could hang out. Like, You had to physically get together, and there was plenty of time to do it. It's not like, for some reason, I feel like it wasn't as busy as things are now either.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree with that. It's very weird how very different, even just my kids too, like my kids' generation coming up, like I don't understand so many things that are happening. Right over my head, like I just don't understand. And I don't know, just they seem a lot freer in the mindset for sure, and a lot lazier for
That
sure.
seems to be a consensus. I
Yeah.
believe. I
Oh,
think that's
yeah.
actually like, it's so confirmable. There's data.
This is facts. Though, what's funny is going back to their age, and this happened to me this week. I guess people still, I don't know why. I don't really post them on the internet a whole lot, because they have their own lives and everything, and I'm not trying to put their business out there. But something was going on with my daughter over the last couple weeks, and I was just chit chatting with a friend about it, and like I guess people still have this because I don't really post them that Chloe is like my kids are still babies, like they're still kids, like kids. So
Right.
here lately, I'm like, I keep getting these weird, like, what do you do with your kids all day while you're working? Like, what do I do with my
What's your most
um?
creative response?
Well, one looks after the other. Obviously.
Duh.
Duh.
Latchkey. Don't you even know?
Yeah, but it's so funny because they're like assume that like Chloe's just still a preteen and Cash is still young, and so guys, my kids are grown. They're grown. They can take care of themselves.
They pay taxes.
One of them does. Actually, they both do because they both work. So yeah, anyways, pretty funny experience I've been having recently.
That's got to be a lot of fun, though.
It
It's
is.
like, okay, here we go again.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you should think of something creative to say just to throw someone off and not really answer any question at all, and just make them wonder what the hell she just
What
messaged
is going on?
me. Is everything okay?
Something's happening over there. Those children are in trouble. They're
so,
grown adults.
so what was it like growing up for you as a kid? Like, where were you at?
Well, I think a lot of people know my backstory. I'm pretty open, and honest with my life and how I got here. Because realistically, I should not, this right here, this life that I have, I shouldn't have. I should have a completely different life. And how I ended up here, it still baffles me. And it's like been a chain of events of just like how I started welding. Um, so like destiny, my parents just not, they were addicts. So you can only imagine how that went. I was a teen runaway. I had my teen pregnancy. I had my daughter pregnant at 17. I was a stripper by 18. I was homeless on the streets with a child as a stripper at 18. Couldn't hold a job, couldn't nothing. Fell into, of course, being, a part of my environment, and married an abusive man, had another child, continued to just keep myself in the cycle. And then it wasn't until I made the decision that I wanted something. Well, actually, let's just be honest here. Basically, this dude beat my ass and hit me in the head so hard, it actually knocked some sense into me that said, this is a
That makes
time
me
to
feel really
leave.
bad to laugh at.
It's not, but it's the truth. And which is, we'll talk about why this is so important into my life and my life story later, which we've talked about off the podcast. But so it took that moment in my life before I realized that I was putting myself and my kids in danger, and we were living the exact same life I had been running from, since I was a child, and being a product of my environment. So when I left, that's when things started changing for me. Now it took a long time. It has never been easy by any means, of course, with
Well,
just
none of that's easy to deal
yeah.
with. It's not a flip of a switch. There's a
No.
lot of literal change that has to be made there, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it took a while to break the cycle and my own toxic habits in my 20s, and so I wasn't chasing a career, I wasn't chasing nothing, like I was just like floating from job to job and like struggling and on government assistance and just really hurting, and so I got tired of living that way, so I started seeking for something better, and so I was working at a restaurant, working doubles. I had already tried the college thing, I couldn't afford to keep going, and when I did, I was going to school for sign language interpreting, and I dropped that major and decided to pick up welding. And then they slid the book across the table on like the first day, and I dropped the class because I didn't want to read the book. So basically, college kind of just fell out, and I couldn't afford it anyways. And so I worked at the restaurant, but I was desperate for something better. That one of my customers walked in and was complaining about work, and he came in all the time and he was complaining about work and how they can't ever find any good help, and he's tired of working all the time, that they wish that they would just hire somebody already. And I was asking him about what he does because he drives a tow truck, and I was like, well, you think they'd hire me? And he was like, I was like, how hard can it be? And he was like, well, it's not hard. And I was like, well, I mean, if you can do it, I can do it. And that's kind of how that conversation went. And then the next day, I went in and asked for an application to be a tow truck driver. And
Shit, yeah.
when he called me into the office to give me an interview, it was more, now this was my first boss. The second tow company I worked for was the one that I worked for years, loved him. But of course, a normal woman in the trades situation walked in there. This guy hired me as a joke. He wanted to see me out there on a tow truck shaking my ass, basically. And I ended up becoming the best tow truck driver in West Texas. So thank you for my start. I ended up working for a better company, left there, went to a better company, stayed there for years and really developed my skills. But, tow trucking was like life. And it took wanting better for myself and nobody coming to help me before I was like, I needed to help myself. And
Yeah.
I started driving a tow truck. So, like, it took a long time to break that cycle before I even got to this point where I'm at now. I should be 10 years I should be where I'm at 10 years ago. Is where I should have been had I had resources or help or somebody just saying, "Hey, let me teach you something," or "Hey,
Yeah.
that's kind of a bad choice. You probably shouldn't make that decision." And I'm here to say, ladies, your career and your business will not wake up one day and tell you it doesn't love you anymore. So chase your life first, and the rest, I promise you, will come. It always does. So you got to chase yourself and your life first and let everything else fall into place. And I did not do that.
Yeah, we get distracted by the other things and we start chasing those.
Yes. So,
And then we wonder, like, oh, how do I not have the life that I wanted? It's like, oh, I got completely off the path. I went from
yeah.
ching, ding, bang, ching, bing, like
Yeah.
everywhere I could go.
Yeah.
and
So,
then you finally start to believe the words that you're saying and you're telling yourself. And I think that there's like whenever I've gone through like real personal life change, it's always been because I think I actually like finally believe it. Like all the things that I want, I talk, I speak it out loud. I work really hard towards that goal, trying to not get distracted. And then once I'm finally sold on the idea, I feel like it is when it like drops another gear. I want to talk about tow truck driving in West Texas. Let's
hell yeah.
back up to that part.
What's funny is we were coming back from Murfreesboro and I was passing Peterbilt rollback, and I was like, man, I miss that job. If it wasn't 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I loved being a tow truck driver.
It's no joke out there. Like, I've had to use a tow truck in West Texas before when I blew a rear tire on my Sportster going cross country.
Really? Do you know what tow company it
Yeah,
was? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I
Dang.
don't.
Where was it at?
It was
More towards Abilene, more towards El Paso.
no, more towards El Paso. It starts with an S.
Yeah, I'm sure I know who they are.
Yeah, I was way out there, and it took hours. And that's not a dig on anybody out there. It's that sparse. Like, if you're not in the right place at the right time, you'll be waiting for 4 hours to get help, and they're on the way. Like, the closest shop to me was 250 miles.
From
That
your
was the
where you were
closest
broke
hardest shot
down?
from where I was
Oh
busted
man,
down.
yeah,
Yeah.
welcome to West Texas.
Yeah, I know. And so it's just like it so I don't remember the last time I told this story. So when it happened, I'd had a really rough trip. Like, I was always on tour, right? Living on a motorcycle full time. Every once in a while I'd have like a warehouse that I lived in or some shit like that, but nothing normal. And I blew a rear tire and almost ditched it. And like, I started off that tour with broken ribs. And then I'm finishing it like this, and I'm just trying to get back to my stuff. And I finally kind of lose my temper, and I go to kick the motorcycle, and suddenly I realize that I am in the middle of the monarch butterfly migration. And I've already called AAA and I'm waiting. And so I just kind of submit to the moment and go, okay, cool. Before I lose my temper, realize where you are. And I sat in the tall grass for like what felt like an hour at least, and was just like several times completely covered by these butterflies as they were moving on. And I'm just sitting there. My mind is absolutely blown. And then like right as they leave, I'm talking almost like somebody was timing it and being like, okay, yeah. And now, West Texas thunderstorm engage. It was almost immediate. I had to set my tent up underneath like one of those massive bushes that are on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And I did everything I could to survive. I have a photo of it. Like, when it got picked up, there was lightning striking on the other side of the highway as
Oh my
like we were loading
God.
it onto the flatbed. It was a true West Texas tale. Like, you got a little bit of everything, all in like it's a matter of 2 hours.
Yeah, you do, unfortunately, which is why I left. It's it West Texas is, I call it a Thunderdome. It's like entering into a third world country when you go out there. Like everything is
It's like it
sparse.
knows you're there.
Yeah, and it'll eat you alive. It will eat you
It's like,
alive.
oh, welcome back, dump truck. You're not Miss Forster this time, I see. I'm like, oh no,
Yes, that's
why?
exactly how it is. It's insane.
Do you
Yeah.
have any good stories from that era of life? I figure you had to have
Oh,
seen some
oh,
things.
yeah, I actually, there's a couple of them you can actually Google. One of them was like, I never did I never did repos. Like that wasn't my thing. Like my thing was if you were getting arrested or, you were hardcore broke down, like hardcore broke down to where you're like impeding traffic. Um, that kind of thing, or if there was a crash. Those were what I worked every single day. Now, in West Texas, more crashes than anything else crashes, and insane arrests, like where people are like losing their minds, and I'm just like taking their car as they're getting put into the police car, things
You're
like
like
that.
shielding your face, like,
Yeah,
don't recognize me
oh
in
my
life.
gosh, it was insane arrests. And then some of them sometimes too, like, that you feel for them and their situations. Like, there was a guy that was like, he was traveling, he was a breakdown. He was traveling to Austin to take care of a drug charge. He was basically money wasn't there. The job, went away. They were really struggling, him and his wife and his child. And so he made a decision to move some drugs to make some money to feed his family, and he got caught. And
Yeah.
so he was going back to Austin to take care of this charge, and his car broke down. And so I towed him to the mechanic shop, but they weren't going to be able to work on his car that day, so he would have to stay in a hotel, but he didn't have money for a hotel or a ride to a hotel. So I ended up setting up to him in a hotel, $50. It's not a hero move. It's
Right.
not
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So $50, set him up in a hotel. But before we got out of the car or get out of my tow truck, we sat in the parking lot and we talked for like 2.5 hours about his life, his decisions, and how he got here. And now he's lost his family because of the drug charge. And he feels like he's just losing everything. And now his car is broke down. He doesn't have the money and like this and that. And now he's like, he doesn't know what he's going to do. And like basically told him the same thing I did, which was if you want something different, you have to do something different. And
Yeah.
so you have to behave differently. You have to make different choices. Like you have to do something differently if you want something different. If everything's the same and nothing's changing and your life is the same, the same, the same, the same, everything, nothing can go right for you, nothing, whatever. If you want something different, you have to do something different. That's how you're going to get out of it. And that's what conversation we had. And so he was feeling like he was so low in that truck. And then I had him feeling so
Yeah.
good whenever he got out.
You may have saved that guy's life.
Oh, it gets better.
Oh, wow. Go ahead.
So
I'll be quiet.
this is what I'm talking, like stories. Like, so he gets out of the tow truck. I still have his number too, because I'm on call. And I'm the one that responded to it. He gets his car fixed. He texts me that morning, "Hey, thanks for the talk. I'm on my way to Austin. My car's fixed. Thank you for everything." Thumbs up. You go get him. Go get your family back. Go take care of his shit. Go get your family back. That's like the attitude he left with. Then after the work day, I would take my tow truck to the gym because I used to be a huge gym rat guy. I was that guy. I'll go to the gym after work with my tow truck.
Tow some cars, lift some weights.
And, push some iron. Well, I worked out with the troopers, like the state troopers. Like we are all buddies. We worked some serious intense crashes together. We're all here for each other. We're all equal here. And one of them, I was telling him, he was telling me about this guy that he pulled over and he took him to jail. Or no, he didn't take him to jail. He wrote him like 10 tickets. Tickets. Now, this trooper, some people need to be kinder to people in this world, especially because we're in a mental health crisis. And I think some people just get on these ego trips, and that's not what should be the punishment by any means. I think help, guidance, and love sometimes is the punishment. That's what they need, and people don't have grace. And so basically what happened was he starts talking about this car he almost pulled over, that he was like, "Oh man, I almost had a load of drugs." This is how the conversation started. "I almost had a load of drugs, yada yada yada, pulled this car over." And he starts talking about the car, talking about whatever, and I just towed it, so I was just inside it. I know what that car has in it. I know the car. I know everything about it. And I was like, hold on. Please tell me it wasn't. And then I said his name. And he goes, "Yeah, how'd you know that?" I was like, oh my God. Please tell me you did not give this man a ticket. And he said, "Oh, hell yeah, I wrote him for this. And I said, "You're kidding me, right?" And he goes, "Why?" And I was like, I sat him down and I had the whole conversation with him. I made him call the judge and get those tickets dismissed.
No shit.
And
Good on you.
And he did. So, and that man, I felt so bad for that man that after I had the conversation with this trooper and I made him like a mama. I was like, "You're going to call that judge right now and you're going to get that taken care of right now. This man is trying to help himself and you just pushed him down the well. He is not going to be able to help himself now because you just pushed him off the cliff and now he's done for. This is it, you know. So he did. He called the judge, got everything dismissed, and I felt so bad for this man that I called him and hey, I just want you to know. He had no idea the tickets got dismissed.
Oh yeah.
And so
Yeah, they don't tell you.
no. And so I called him and I told him, I was like, hey, so I know the trooper that pulled you over, and I had him call the judge and get the tickets dismissed. And he started crying on the phone, like
I bet.
sobbing on
Yeah.
the phone. Okay, gets better now. Fast forward about a year goes by, year and a half goes by. My phone number has been the same forever. It's never changed. I don't know if that's a good thing, and I'm probably gonna have to change it now. But he calls me out of the blue and he says, "Hey Ray, I don't know if you remember me. But you towed my car, this happened, blah 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 blah." I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi, how are you? How are you doing?" He's like, "I just want you to know I got my family back."
That's dope.
And I was like, "Man, good for you." He's like, "I got it. I worked it off. I got it. I got it all handled. It's not going to be on my record anymore for XYZ, you know, whatever the law shit is."
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
took care of his shit and he got his family back. It's just a little bit of compassion, like somebody just stopping, seeing something and listening. And he needed that. And I had that a lot as a tow truck driver, like a lot of experiences like that where like it's insane how vulnerable people are when they're in the worst position in their life.
Yeah,
Um
very much.
and you can learn a lot about human interaction and control, like, and emotions, and um like the projection of all of those, because you're in this situation with this woman or this man or this child where it's the worst case scenario that they would ever have to deal with in their entire life. And a lot of them were deaths because West Texas I-20 is the most dangerous interstate in the country. And if anybody says anything, look it up. Look it up. It's it's
It
it's insanely dangerous for as straight of a highway it is, but it's like high
is though.
speeds, like insane
Yeah.
stuff. Like you see the most insane crashes and then both parents are gone, but the child is just right here, you know, and like the thing that fucked me up the most was cell phones. Like you we all get this like intuition feeling that lives inside us whenever something's wrong. We just know. And so we start calling people like, "Oh, hey, are you
Yeah.
okay? Hey, are you
Are
like,
you all right? Yeah.
you don't know how many times I've seen bodies on the ground covered and their cell phones are ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing. And then you know when their family's got the death notification because it just stops ringing. There was a crash that I worked where like that messed with me. I don't know why. It just messed with me so bad. And there was one where
Well,
I
yeah.
made somebody help me pry a phone out of a door because it wouldn't stop ringing. Um, so there was insanely powerful stuff you see as a human in another human. It really changes you. So it being a tow truck driver is, and I don't think tow truck drivers get enough credit by any means, but like they're kind of angels on earth. And so like this is the crash that like you could Google it. It's like it was national. A bus of Iran cheerleaders hit an 18 wheeler. And it killed the cheer sponsor, and all the girls got hurt. There was no seatbelts on the bus. Like
Right, yeah.
insane stuff. And then there was like a whole nother crash. Well, weird thing is this crash and cleanup was insane because of the investigation that was behind it. And like that was like they put me in front of the camera to talk about the level and magnitude of this crash for national television. And I was just
Wow.
trying to protect reporters from coming in to see because they wanted to see the inside of the bus.
It's like, no, you don't.
like crazy things like that, that really change you as a person, especially like these cheerleaders were my daughter's age at the time, and she was a cheerleader at a football game when like this was taking place. Like it's very
Right, yeah.
insane.
It made it very, like, close to the chest.
Yeah, so driving a tow truck is not for the faint of heart by any means. And but yeah, that's crazy stories. I can tell you things about intestines.
Well,
Also
I mean, like,
dirty
so
things in cars I found.
I have no doubt.
I've also been
Um,
quite the drug hound in cars for the tow trucking world too. Like you wouldn't believe how many like drugs I found in cars, having to have law enforcement come out because there's a pound of cocaine in this trunk. It's insane. It's insane.
That's so crazy. So whenever you experience, the hard stuff, like those are the things that do tend to change a lot within a person, like and all the people you go through it with as well. What do you do with that energy to, like, I don't know, like whenever I've gone through things, the best way for me to process that type of, for me, it's kind of an unexplainable feeling that you have whenever, like, something reminds you of those moments, or like what it felt like to actually go through it, um is just like trying to help somebody. That's really the only thing that's really satisfied it, and sounds like you do a lot of that. What are the other ways that you choose to help your community, or anybody in general?
Well, to me, it's not necessarily about helping, I guess you could say.
Hmm.
I don't feel like I'm helping. It's more just like I have to. Like I can't not. Like it's not even
Right.
like a choice anymore. Like type thing. And I deal with some pretty complex PTSD from my life that it works against me some days, but it also kind of works for me in some ways with being an artist, and also compassion in the way that I feel about things. Now I'm a human just like everybody else, and I can get upset and be ridiculous just like anybody else, but I also um the more I get it out, the better I feel. And so, in a sense of being with someone and being able to help their situation or listen to them or just something, being present, it's just being present. Like, that's
Yeah.
the biggest key is being present. And also, too, this year weirdly taught me, and like the Netflix show, too, um like these last couple of years I've been very just I felt like a puppet. Like I was a puppet. Like I was doing what I was told. Doing what I was told I was supposed to be doing all the time. Be here, be there, do this, say this, be this, wear this. um you're gonna not do this. You can't have this relationship. You can't, like, everybody was pulling me apart over the last couple of years. I forgot what it was to even be a human. And so, in a weird sense of things, being here human and with people and listening and attentive and present, it it heals my own PTSD. Like I have to,
Yeah.
it's my medicine. I don't take medications. I should be on 100 of them, I'm sure. I should be in all different kinds of therapy. I should be doing all kinds of things. But I think what's going to heal the world and those thoughts and those emotions in people is people that actually show love and compassion, but also who they're surrounding themselves with. You can't heal in an environment that's breaking you. So you have to leave that environment in order to heal. And a lot of the times, up until I left Texas, I was still just in this like leeching environment of like not being able to heal because everything around me was sucking the life out of me. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it's
I
toxic.
had to completely like lose it all to rebuild and to get re in touch with the fact that I'm a human. And so to the schools, the kids, the art, being around you, being around, your future wife, being around my husband, like doing the things that we were doing. I mean, homecoming, those are the things that I'm doing. How much fun we had so much fun at homecoming,
That was
Um,
such a good time. That
those,
was some of the best money I've ever spent.
hell yeah. You're
It was
healing
so
me,
good.
honey. You're healing me. And it's that, and the fact that, I think it's the work. Like if you put, I hate to say, like if you put any work into other people, it kind of helps you too, but that's true. It's so
But
true.
it's just the way it is, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, so I just, I don't know how I don't know how I'm getting past it or healing, because every single day is a different day of healing than the last.
sure. Yeah,
So,
it does get better over time. That I do know.
mhm,
Because like I deal with similar demons from a different origin, and I was lucky enough to be able to use medication early on as a crutch,
mhm,
and one that I could outgrow. And so as soon as I could, I got off of medication, and I haven't taken any for quite a long time now, and not even any emergencies or anything like that.
good for you.
And I feel really blessed because of it. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, it gets better, and it's man, you are such a reflection of the people and the places that you surround yourself with. Like you were saying, like if you want change, then you have to change something, and simply like where you're standing is the best place to start. Like I went through a period when I was a bouncer. This is when I stopped being a bouncer. I really tuned somebody up pretty well, and it wasn't something I was proud of. It's something I was shocked by. And that moment it was like lightning struck me. It was just like, dude, well, look at where you are. Look at what you're doing. And I was standing over this dude. And I was just like, what is happening? I was like, when did I get here? What turn did I take to turn into this? And how it's been, congratulated with all the many forms of a good time. Every time you come back a big, bad, successful bouncer with a good sense of humor, whether it be, free tab, whether it be, somebody's time or some illicit drug use. Like, I mean, it's all there for you. And congratulations to this really shitty behavior when you think about it. And when I started bouncing, it was because I grew up as a runt, and then suddenly I wouldn't. And I got out of the military and found out there was a job where you could, whoop up on assholes. And I'm like,
Sign me up.
that sounds great, man. Let's do that. And but and I started with a white hat, and the thing got dark over time, and I literally made a change. And the thing I did, I excommunicated myself from almost every single person that I knew that was a part of the industry that I worked in. Which allowed me actually to dive in a lot to women's roller derby, which was an amazing support crew, and a lot of people that are there to listen and share their stories and offer their love. And I was able to really get my shit together because I physically made a change. I was like, step one, I need a different audience. They may not realize it. Of course, they're not bad people because of it, but these things that I'm being enabled to do the worst shit. And I am such a happy, loving, loud, laughing, open, huggable dude that suddenly wasn't. But that guy would come back all the time, but I clocked out to go, play badass for a while. And that just, it was the damn worst. I never felt more ashamed of myself because I did that. Like there was no one to blame. There was no one to stand around and look at. And, I was basically homeless at the time, bouncing from a homie's couch to another in between shifts, in between bars, and bad decisions during the day. And I think that that's something that people need to realize is, if you want things to change, start by just like hitting a reset button for a minute. There's got to be a group of people that are around, or at least that you wish were around, that you can go seek out. And
Yeah.
maybe that person is just you by yourself.
Well, and if it's just you by yourself and nothing outside of that house is for you, then maybe you should move.
Yeah.
Leave. leave.
Absolutely.
Like that's kind of like how I left West Texas and ended up in Tennessee. And thank God I left West Texas and all that was there that was not for me that I was hanging on to because I wouldn't have this beautiful life that I have now,
Well,
you know.
yeah.
And
You
so,
made space for beautiful things, and you've
mhm,
had like a hell of a time getting those beautiful things. Like, you're madly in love. Like,
yeah,
work is
work
awesome.
was
Like, there's so
awesome.
many
Life
good
is
things that
good.
have come from that.
Yeah,
So, like,
so.
yeah, like you said it before, like,
You
this life
have to
is
do
for whoever is
something.
out there.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
get up if you don't like what is happening in your life. And so I'm not telling you to make bad decisions. So I'm not saying get up and do something bad. I'm saying get up and do something positive for your life because, you know, every single thing that you do is energy. Your thoughts is energy, your words is energy. What you touch is energy. How you perceive yourself and what you say to yourself and the lies that you tell yourself, those are all energy. And if you start believing all those things and you start feeling all these things, then your body's going to represent those things, then
And
that
they become
releases
true.
and then everything around you becomes those things. And so you have to want more by believing you deserve more. And of course, you know, changing your thought process, changing the words, changing, you know, all of those things and speaking in a different tone for yourself. You'll start seeing things change. It'll change because what is for you, you will not have to chase. It will come right to you. But it starts with yourself. You can't help somebody that can't help themselves. And you can't help yourself if you're not going to step up and do the work and make the changes. Like, I'm a no excuse girly because if I can do anything, this week has been the craziest week of my life and I still got so much accomplished. Like, so if anybody ever says that, like, oh,
And
I
it's
don't have
only
a, yeah,
Wednesday.
and it's only Wednesday. So, nobody can ever tell me there's not enough time or they can't, or, they're not in a position to because I do it every day.
Yeah.
So, but you got to want more for your life. So get up, do something to make that change.
I dig it. I dig it. All these positive vibes. We're now welcome to the Rae Ripple and Dump Truck Life Coach episode.
We can charge people for this, you know?
Yeah, that's an idea.
Which one do you want
Well, I
today? I
love
feel like
that.
this could be like a video game segment right now because we're both right next to each other. You could pick your player, you know, which one you want.
Like,
Do I want, and then you have to do like the whole, what is it that they do on video? Like
Oh,
the bounce. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know.
you're amazing. Just look off like away from the camera. Just,
I don't know what my character would do. I hope somebody makes a video of what my character would do if I was on a video game.
I mean, you would have to. I mean, you would have to have like
Cowboy boots
sparking guns and
and cowboy
Western
boots.
boots. Yeah,
Hell yeah, bang
yeah,
bang.
like very Mad Max meets punk rock
I
fashion.
like that. I like that. Bang bang.
Oh my god, that's amazing! Now I'm in a video game for the rest of my night. I'm just gonna be like, every time I look down here at the monitor, not there but there, it's all da-da-da. Which level are we on?
That's so funny.
So you made all the choices, you did all the things,
Hmm.
you got all the street cred in the world, and you choose Tennessee. How long ago did that happen?
I actually didn't choose Tennessee. I think Tennessee chose me. Because I
Well,
was living
I'm
in
ready for a
Missouri.
story if you are.
Yeah. Okay. So, um, like West Texas, number one, I never ever thought that I would ever leave West Texas. I thought I was going to be there forever. And which is insane to me because of how happy I am here. But like, I was the last, like, I want to say since I don't know, the beginning of time in Big Spring. I can't even really pinpoint a time that I just really wasn't happy there. I think I've always just been unhappy there and just kind of passing time and passing things. And then COVID happened, and when COVID happened, my career changed so quickly that I couldn't even breathe. Like everything changed in my life. And when everything changed, a lot of things got lost, but when those things got lost, they tend to start getting rotten. And when you don't throw out the trash and you leave rotten fruit everywhere, eventually everybody knows what happens. It gets maggots and things happen. That's kind of
It
what,
smells really good. It's
yeah.
nice.
That's
It's
kind
very,
of what
very,
happened in my life is I didn't take out the trash, and I should have a long, long time ago, which started a series of events of choices I was making, which ultimately isolated me in the own town that I was living in. And it like so bad that I couldn't even leave my house. Like I would not leave my house
yeah.
except for to go to work. And then or the grocery store, I couldn't go anywhere. Like I just like, and it was a lot of too, of these moments where like I used to be the town tow truck driver. And then when the Netflix show came out and I was gone for a long time or things would happen, um, if they would see me in town, it's like, oh, she's too good for us now. It starts turning into that kind of stuff, which becomes
That sucks.
aggressive. And people start talking, and then rumors are made up, and then also people that you trust that you think are family in your life, your own, not Chloe and Cash, but like own people, your own people that you're like you're with every single day, start making up stories. And like it turns into a whole debacle, which eventually ultimately left me and feeling very isolated and dying. Like I truly felt like I was dying. Like I was losing a lot of weight, like I wasn't eating, my hair was definitely not looking this good by any means, like it was like half
It's
there.
killing, by the
Thank you.
way. I
uh
mean, I know something about some
you
hair. Like that,
too.
you got some good things going
Thank you.
on.
So it was reflecting in everything, and a lot of people don't know this, and so this is going to be the first time I ever relay this information into the public. But it was so bad, and my heart was so broken that in 2023, when I was building the Road Glide for Harley Davidson, I was actually in heart failure and had to wear a heart monitor because my heart was dying and they didn't know why. And it it started these chain of events of health issues in my life to where I was like I couldn't keep food down, I was throwing up, I was passing out, and then I was still had to go to that event and be Rae Ripple. I still had to, I still had to build this motorcycle. I still had all these people I couldn't let down, and I'm over here dying. And no, I couldn't tell a soul. I could tell nobody. And so I was hiding my heart monitor. I was hiding my medications. I was hiding being sick. Like the 2023 homecoming, every chance I could go to the bathroom, I was throwing up. Like I couldn't keep no food down, but then I would wipe my face off, touch up my makeup. We're going back out, and we're doing that. We're gonna keep going. Um, which it sucked. It was terrible, and so I knew if it wasn't my health. It wasn't anything wrong with me. It was my environment. My environment was slowly killing me. And so I started making decisions to get out. And I was looking at Missouri, and I was looking at Louisiana. I was looking at where else? Oh, the Carolinas. I was looking in the Carolinas. I even looked in a place in Georgia, an old church in Georgia.
Oh,
And
cool.
then this house came on the market, and I saw it on Zillow. My kids sent it to me the same day. Chloe's friend sent it to me the same day, and one other person sent it to me that same day. And I was flipping through photos. I'm like, this is my dream house. This is everything I have pinned on Pinterest. Every single thing, And so I have to have this house. But it was way over my budget. I know people think that we're rich over here. We're not rich over here, okay? We are normal people just like everybody else. And so
I don't know about normal.
maybe not normal, but
Let's not push it,
yes.
okay?
But we're all business owners and, small business owners like everybody else. And so, and the government, doesn't make it easy for somebody to buy a small business to buy a house. And so the housing market in Tennessee, I also, in all fairness, did not know everybody was moving to Tennessee at the time. My life was in a crisis. So I could care less where I was going as long as I was going somewhere. Somewhere else. So,
Where would you like to be?
yes,
Not here.
anywhere else, please. And so, when that happened, I just went ahead and just said, you know what? I'm just gonna put in an offer. I'm gonna see what happens here.
Hey, but one way to find
And
out.
they accepted my offer. And then at that point, I'm like, it's still not yours. Like, you still have to go through these insane processes to make it yours. And even then, by the time I got to Tennessee, the house still hadn't closed. And so my stuff was in 3 different storages, and I was living in an Airbnb with the kids until the house closed. And a lot of people, drugs, alcohol, recreational things like that are their drugs of choice and their addictions and their vices. Well, my vice and my addiction is work. If I can't work, then I fall apart. And so I started working at a bakery making cakes in Tennessee for
I love it. Full
the
circle.
lady that owned my Airbnb, owned a bakery in town. And she was very curious because I just rolled up with 5
Baking
motorcycles
skills.
on I had 5 motorcycles on a trailer. I also brought all of my plants too from Texas. So I got an entire U-Haul, a box truck U-Haul, not just a trailer, but a box truck U-Haul full of plants. And I
We
unloaded
call that
them.
a jungle to go.
Definitely. And this woman let me put all of my plants in front of her house, and Tennessee's weather here is beautiful. So it basically was more perfect weather than being in my house in Texas. And so I unloaded all these plants in front of her house and basically lived there for 2 weeks. And so we kicked it off and had like such a great relationship that she didn't pay me, I just volunteered. Like I just volunteered to work at her bakery for 2 weeks, and so I was making cakes and cookies and helping her with catering at the bakery. And then my house closed, and we became such good friends at the bakery that they came with me to the bakery owners came with me to my final house closing walkthrough because I didn't have parents to go.
Oh, no way. That's
So
awesome.
they did the final walkthrough with me, and the husband of the business owner, he was asking all the questions that, dads are supposed to ask or that you're supposed to ask when you buy a house. And I was just like trying to get in this house because I was
Yeah, you're
tired of
like, I
being in
just
this
want to be here. He's
Airbnb.
like,
And so they were asking all the questions and all of that kind of stuff. It was such a beautiful experience. And then the next day when I closed, he helped bring all my plants from, like, the husband helped bring all the plants from
oh,
the Airbnb here and took the trailer back to where I got it from, so that way I wouldn't have to return it. So like, and we're still friends to this day, um,
oh,
which
I'm
is so
sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
But that's how. So Tennessee chose me. Like, it wasn't like I chose Tennessee by any means. And then when my house closed, weirdly, the entire world just stopped. Like, everything just stopped. It was like God was setting me up in this position to like really heal from what had just happened to me in Texas. And but also like health comes so far and then comes God, you know? So like I wanted to get better. And it's one of those things where if you want to change, you have to do something different. And so that's why I picked up my life and I moved it across the United States, was because West Texas was killing me and it was going to kill me if I didn't leave. And so I left. And when I left, being a workaholic and an addict to the job, I like was put in a position to force myself to slow down and start healing, which I had never had a chance to do. Also, to catch my breath and to remember I'm a human and to spend some time with my kids and to build a home and stuff. Now, everything within it was not peaches and cream by any means, and I can't talk about it for legal reasons. But just know, that was what a blessing in disguise moving to Tennessee was, because it stripped my whole life. Like I remember, and I'm not trying to make this about, a holy podcast by any means, but I I was so lost in West Texas because I was dying inside that I would pray all the time, like, why is nothing ever good for me? Like, and outside of my career, like this is personal life. This is mental health. This is
Right.
like, this is not, oh, but she's got so many followers on Instagram. Her, like, oh, boo hoo you, boo hoo. And this is bigger than any of that. Like, way bigger than any of that, and feeling very lost. And this is why people are taking their own lives, people. So this is you wake up, like, we got to wake up here. And this is a wake up moment I had in my life where, like, I was feeling so very lost and didn't know what to do and didn't understand why I was dying. And I would just pray and pray and pray and pray. And you can't pray to God to ask him to move a mountain and then get mad when you wake up next to a shovel. And that's exactly what happened in my life. And I started
I
digging.
like
And
that.
then I met Evan. And then when I met Evan, he picked up a shovel and he helped me keep digging because I wasn't through it yet. And then now, because I did the work, I got up and I wanted something different for my life. So I did something different for myself and for my life. And now I've like had the greatest year of my life. Everything I ever wanted that I've been chasing and fighting for my whole life, it's here. It's finally here. And so, get up, do something different for your life. So yeah, moral of the story, Tennessee chose me, and now we're going on we're a year and a half in, right? A year and a half in to living here. We'll be celebrating 2 years in Tennessee in May of next year. And uh like, Tennessee is insane. Like, trees the size of dinosaurs. It rains all the time. The most beautiful weather. I live on the lake and I walk through my backyard and I just go to the lake. A private part, I could swim in it naked if I wanted to. You should probably edit that out. Because you have people looking at you staring at the lake. Anyways, long story short, like, and I have this field and I have privacy.
I'm literally taking a note for that right now.
You don't have to, but if you wanted to, you could. But so basically, and two, being in Tennessee has also put me in a position to be a human again, which is something I've desperately missed for the last few years, especially with Netflix or the Netflix and like everything that's happened in my life the last couple of years and Big Spring. And so um I was kind of hiding here in Tennessee for a little while. Like, I wouldn't really go out in public, not because I'm some big celebrity, but like I was very, very like terrified of everything for a long time. And then, which I was still kind of very much lost and feeling very lost. And so I ended up wandering back into church, and finding the sweetest little church ladies. Now, this isn't about going to church every Sunday. It's about the donuts. They got good donuts on Sundays. So I go for
Probably
the
Shipley
donuts
donuts.
and my church ladies. um, some of the sweetest people you'll ever meet in your life in this area, and they take really good care of us and our little family here. Like, my neighbors are very protective of our area and like making sure that nobody is doing things they're supposed to be doing or sitting in front of our house or sitting in front of things. And two, like, um, I'm not the biggest fish in the pond here, which is so great. You know how many country singers live over here? This is basically the Hollywood of the South. So nobody gives a shit if I walk into a coffee shop. They care about what he's getting his coffee. So it's kind of cool because like I really, really, truly get to be a human here and within the community too. And you know, like we're having like people come over, like things that never happened in Big Spring are like happening to me in my life. Like my friends are coming over. I'm having dinner parties and um
That's
like
fun.
I'm in a women's support group at church, and we actually had a women's support group. I hosted it here at the house, which is a very different kind of house than most people are used to being in. There's like Playboys everywhere on the walls, and like there's crazy art and things like that. And so I hosted the women's support group, and we held a tattoo night, and I tattooed, which was pretty awesome. So it's really cool to see how
That's
accepting
amazing.
all these people are. My neighbor, Miss Mary, 91. She comes over all the time. She's
Did you get to tattoo her?
no, but I did get to she finally got to see like all of my motorcycles in all their glory. And I was like, you know what, Miss Mary, if you ever want to go for the ride of your life, I'll take ya, like that kind of thing. And she's like, oh girl, there was this one time in college, and she starts talking about this boy and how her parents would have just been so upset if they knew that she was on the back of this motorcycle. Um, so I think God picked this place for me because he knew I needed love, support, safety, and a community. And those were all things that I didn't get in West Texas. And so he put me in the right place for it. And I'm so grateful. And weather. Let's talk about the weather. It's
Yeah.
beautiful all the time. Grass. I have grass. Evan mows
Yeah, there's like
twice a week,
green everything
all
everywhere.
the time.
You have
hmm
to.
So,
I mean, it will take over
hmm
for sure. Yeah, I love Tennessee. There's lots to love about that place. Well, it's really cool to hear how the community, like from jump, has really opened its arms to you and accepted you.
hmm
And that's, I mean, acceptance is more important than understanding in my
hmm
world. And so whenever that rolls in, it hits deep, and it's like, okay, I'm sure whenever you finished and you got your house and nobody else was in it, I bet your shoulders dropped about 12 inches.
not until August 19th. And for legal reasons, we can't talk about that. But
Good riddance to bad weathers.
no, honestly, it was it was in February of this year. My whole world exploded, but it had to in order for new growth, in order for
Yeah.
something to happen. And when it exploded, I thought my whole life was over, and I didn't understand a lot of things. And so even still moving here, I was still digging. You know, I was trying to get this mountain to move, and I still had a lot of work to do. And then so come February of this year is when it really just kind of disintegrated out of the way, which was so nice. And then like just picking things up, and but also as I pick things up, it was I was having a human interaction with someone. I was having a phone call. I was talking to them. They were talking to me. There was no more firewall put up anymore, to where there was access to me now. And then the next person, it was a phone call, and it was just like a human moment of me and vulnerability, and you know, being human with someone. And then the same thing, and then all these, like, before I knew it, like everything was changing and things were happening in positive ways. And I started getting, instead of being surrounded by people taking and taking and taking, like I was being surrounded by people that were giving and giving and giving, and they like were helping me pull myself out of this, and but also to not just pulling myself out of this, like just like the support, like seeing me, hearing me, listening to me, and then like hours on the phone of just talking to me, and like, and advice, and thank God for our MySpace days as well, because I really learned how to build a website because of MySpace, and I have a pretty dope website. So like it's kind of cool um how the universe works. When you're lost and you're asking for guidance, be very, very careful, because
You might get it.
you might get it. And that's exactly what happened. And but I'm forever grateful for it. It was the like so I haven't really been able to relax just recently, like, and right now my biggest thing I'm working on is calming my nervous system, and like eating normally and sleeping normally, and like calming, basically. So there is now a whole lot of like my shoulders are down and I'm resting, and like eating better and sleeping better, and my nightmares are few and far between now versus so close together, and like I'm creating from a
Yeah.
different space, like I'm breathing, I'm not noticing my heart just palpitating anymore. I quit throwing up. I quit passing out, and you know,
Yay.
um, so I definitely like, are you dying, or is it your environment? And so I feel so much better, and life has been really nice. So love Tennessee.
You look
Thank
fantastic.
you.
You look
Thank you.
fantastic. Well, you've also been graced with some pretty new projects. You've gotten kind of known for this one, not just this one, but chandeliers,
Mhm.
and that's been those things are so
Thank
impressive.
you.
When like, because I've definitely internet stalked your work like several times. People are like, "Who's the person you're going to talk to?" I was like,
This
"This person." They're like,
person.
"Oh." Oh, I'm like, yeah, and another one cooler than me. Let's go. But what do you have interesting that you're working on right now as an art piece?
Well, I just finished up a college where I cut a car in half and hung it on the wall, which was pretty
Oh,
awesome.
what kind of
It was
car
a
was it?
1972 Mach 1 Mustang Fastback. And so it hangs on the wall of the college, and then like a gear, like the really pretty 13-foot gear pattern chandelier, and this beautiful like logoed wall piece. Um, just installed that. So I'm actually weirdly in an off time. Like I'm letting my body rest because I'm about to dive right into the next one, which is not the car yet, but I have to get through another chandelier, which basically is gonna look like a round wedding cake upside down. And it'll be like 5 foot by 5 foot. It'll fit in that space. And it's for, if anybody's seen a chandelier I did for Mexican Sugar, right before I left Texas to come to Tennessee. This is also for the same restaurant, different location in Austin, Texas. So if you go eat at Mexican Sugar in Houston, you'll see my chandelier, and if you go eat at Mexican Sugar in Austin, Texas, you'll see this one as well, which I'm trying to bust out as quick as possible because the fun stuff is happening, which is the 1964 Bel Air, and that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what definitely I'm interested in for sure. You sent me a video of that car earlier, and holy, there's like a lumberjack in the trunk because that was a lot of chopping going on. It sounds so good, and I know that there's a story behind it, and I love a good car story. Like in anything old that's got a story, but like especially old cars. So let's start with what the hell you're working with, and how you ended up with it in your
Oh,
stable.
well, first off,
Do you need a glass of water?
I so where do I start? So, this car actually belonged to Derek. He runs Vice Grip Garage on YouTube. And he also had a show on Motor Trend called Roadworthy Rescues, where he goes out and rescues cars from fields, old barns all over the US. And he makes them run in the spot that they've been resting in for years. And then he drives them 400, 500, 600 miles home. And he fixes them on the way home if they're breaking down. So that's the whole show. And this car,
His banter is
oh,
awesome. I it's not just like this is his show. Like if you haven't seen this show and you like interesting people that know what the hell they're talking about,
this man,
just resurrect a vehicle. That dude is awesome. He's got a sense of humor to boot.
and the most down to earth, beautiful human. Him and his family, his wife, they're incredible, humble people. And it's insane how, let me talk about like influencing and like content and like the scale that he is on another level. Like this man is
Yeah.
followed by millions of people um in his craft and what he does, and he loves car restoration. So basically everything opposite of what I do is what he does. And like when I say people in the industry that are content creators by influencers or whatever, sometimes like they're really not that nice. you know?
Yeah.
This man,
Yeah.
the sweetest, most caring human being I could have ever met. So if you ever in any reason think that like he is like, if you're wondering if he's a salt of the earth human, he is. Like he's so awesome. I met him by complete accident at Roadkill Nights. I got to stunt ride my motorcycle down the drag strip before the influencer race. Which is actually
Yeah.
kind of funny because all my friends were like, do a burnout, do a burnout, do a burnout. And the track was sticky. So the second I set my feet down, if you don't have your feet placement right, it's gonna lead to catastrophe. And then your bike's gonna get stuck because it's sticky. So you know what I did? I went ahead and did it. And then I got stuck, which was so rad. And then, anyways, long story short, I'm done and I'm celebrating. And if anybody knows, I'm not a drinker. I can't hold down alcohol. I don't even like the taste of alcohol. I'm basically a child. I like a Sprite, you know? Um, and so somebody hands me this big old double shot of whiskey, which is obviously not something I'm gonna drink. And I was handed it, and I was like, guys, I can't do this. And he goes, I got it. And he's like, comes behind me and he gets this shot of whiskey and he just downs this shot of whiskey. And I turn around and mind you, I'm like 115 pounds. I turn around and this man is
He's a big
I'm
dude.
looking up at him and he's like just downs this and it's Derek, from Bike Skip Garage. And I was just like, I have been watching you on YouTube for a long time. Like it was such a cool interaction. Anyways, we became kind of friends weirdly, which is so what a bizarre like way of how we
Yeah.
met, and to be friends too is like insane. And so like over the years we've kind of done a couple of things together in events or whatever, but then this year we did the Vibe 200 where we raced a bunch of Pontiac Vibes, stock Pontiac Vibes with a full bottle of nitrous on a dirt track, a road track, and a little course, like that kind of thing. Him and me and a couple of other actual professional race car drivers or drifters. I'm just a welder. I don't know why I was there, but so we did that at the beginning of the year. And when we were there, well, prior to that, it's very hard to find vehicles for me. People will not sell them to me because they know what I'll do to them. So, needless to say, I was like kind of just pulling out all the stops because I had this idea and I wanted it to come to life. but it's just not the right car. And we'll get into that idea here in just a second. But like, it was just, I couldn't find the right car. I thought the Mustang was it, which was the 72, which is the one I hung on the wall for the college. And that ended up being a whole different project, which turned out iconic. So, it just, not the right time. And so, I had reached out because I was looking for another vehicle to him about, hey, if you got anything you want to sell, I'm open to buy. I know what I do is very opposite of you. But if there's anything out there that's just too far gone, if you'd love to sell, I would love to buy. And he goes, what's it for? Well, so this is gonna be a while.
Well, I'm here to destroy it in a beautiful
Yes,
way.
so that's basically I want to cut it up, but this is the reason why. I also want to cut it up and turn it into like full period restoration. I have some work out there already that's like that. There's this Style Master, Chevy Style Master, everybody's pretty familiar with. I cut the body of that, and my client is a paint and body guy, collision guy. And so he restored this car from ground up with the outside laced out. And so like he's the only real running and driving one. And so I've been wanting a running and driving one, and I thought the Mustang would be at that. It wasn't. So also kind of still I'm searching for that. That's what I'm searching for. But I'm searching for it because I'm after Mattel. I'm after Hot Wheels. But in after being in and after Hot Wheels, which is something that has kind of we've made connections, but it's been like a lot of like those like slight misses or made connections or still misses. And so like um the connection was there. It was just like not the right time or not the right car or not enough momentum. This industry is not something that just happens overnight. For some people it does, but some people have to work very
No.
hard for it. And so um just on the search for the right car. Well, outside of it being it needed to be a Hot Wheels car, or I was after a Hot Wheels car, I had this wild idea that I would fully restore it and then turn around and sell it in the Mecum auctions and donate all the money, but not like into a foundation that I build to help put domestic violence through victims through trade school, like women that are in women's shelters and things like that. But not only cover trade school,
That's
but
awesome.
cover room and board for them and their children. So that way they can break the cycle for their life and start a career that's going to change their life, their kids' life, stability, and they can take care of themselves forever. That's what the trades did for me. And so start the foundation. So I have this idea is huge. That's all it is an idea at this point. Like, okay, I'm just casually gonna get a really rare car, cut it up, restore it myself when I'm not a mechanic, and then turn around and sell it into the Mecum auctions to make money to go into a foundation that I want to build to help women go to trade school. That sounds real easy.
Yeah, it sounds like you're
Yeah,
insane.
so I had initially was just like planting the seed with Derek. Hey, I'm looking for a car. This is what I'm looking for. But also, I have Fab Tech and I have other events. If there's anything you want to send my way. Just let me know. And he was like, honestly, I told him the cause behind the car. He said, honestly, I have, I think, the most perfect car for you. And so he sends me this link of him building the 64 Bel Air for roadworthy rescues. He was like, what about this one? Will it work? And I was like, Derek, if I cut this
That's Hot
car,
Wheels.
people are going to burn my house down. Do you understand that? And
Also known as It's
it's
Perfect.
perfect. And like I just was like, you know what? That's it. That's got to be the Hot Wheels car. And of course, like that was like towards the beginning of the year, and then we chatted about it again at the race at the Vibe 200. And then I'm done with Fab Tech now. I'm done with the college project, and man, this man, a man of his word, comes through and drops the car off at my house after spending all day. And I feel terrible because I wanted to go and help him, but I couldn't because I had some situations going on at home. Um, but spent all day Friday getting this thing running and driving, and then he drove it to my house, which was so awesome. So like this thing already runs and drives. It had a 283 in it. He dropped a 350 in it. He already took it down the dirt track. He's already got the body ready for me. He had it sandblasted because he was gonna fully restore this vehicle. What she talks about in the video, and then he just hands it over to me in my plasma cutter. Um, so he's like done so much work already. I know it still needs a lot of work, but he did all the dirty work on the car of like number one, picking it and fixing it, getting it running and driving, putting a valuable motor in it. Um, so he's already done all the hard work and he just brought it to me. And now my whole gears of things were shifting because I actually was preparing myself and my schedule next year to do Burning Man.
Yeah, wow.
And now it's shifted into this project. And initially, it takes a lot to build a foundation. It takes a lot to get people on board to possibly want to help support a car that's possibly going to be sold or it is going to be sold to charity, but we don't know if it's even going to be sold for 10,000. So we don't know anything. Um, so how am I going to get all these people on board for this idea that I've been talking about for years, and they've been listening to me like, all right, we understand, we know you want to do this, but it's time to do it. And so like now I have the car, and so like it's insane how fast it's happening now. Because now I have the car, and since Saturday, since he's dropped it off, the entire car has been fully sponsored in most of the areas. It's going to cost me a lot of money. And on top of that, like we're pushing for the president of Mecum Auctions is going to more than likely oversee this project. Hot Wheels doesn't,
That's rad.
Mattel doesn't know this yet, but it's gonna be a Hot Wheels car. So Mattel, if you're watching this,
She's
I'm
coming for
coming
you.
for
You better
you.
get ready.
So like there's so many incredible things and so many big people that are already like just believing in the car and the mission that like I'm already building my foundation right now as we speak. And there's already things that are going into it as we speak. I have the most amazing board of trustees. I'm building that team right now, and it's some iconic people in the industry, but also some people that are like in it. They're in the heartbeat of the industry. I mean, the president of the American Welding Society is going to be on my board of trustees, so he's the heartbeat of
Wow.
this industry, and so it's insane the support that I've been given just since Saturday when he gave me the car. And so Derek is an angel on this earth because he's believing in this idea, and I really don't want to let him down. And I don't want to let anybody else down as well. But so because of that, we went ahead and pushed it. I'm gonna give myself a timeline of a year to build this car, and it's gonna be sold in the Mecum auctions in January of 2027. And hopefully I'll be putting two women through school or two people through school. Like that's what I'm pushing for is it puts enough to be able to put two people through school because that's maybe a person that has two kids and that's three lives, versus, and the same thing with, the other person. So I'm shooting for two full scholarships for people. And then I'm hoping that maybe, the next year I do a motorcycle and put it in the foundation and we do it again. So big plans. And
Yeah, you can
yeah,
say
big
so.
plans. And I got some big stuff coming with companies I'm working with too. Hypertherm has a big announcement coming in February or March of this next year, which is really exciting for people. And I can't say anything because it's signed an NDA, but just know it's so awesome. Uh, and you know, on
I
his
love it.
craft is like taking on its own life form, and so lots of really cool work coming in. And the cool thing is I get to work alongside Evan, and we get to do this together. And so, like, if you look at all the photos and videos on Instagram and on the social medias, like, that's all Evan. And so, how cool is it that, like, I know I'm lucky. I know I got like a cinematographer just in my pocket, you know. It's pretty cool. So, um,
Well, the work that you guys have been doing together it's been, I mean, the quality of it's just through the roof. And I guarantee you that there's going to be more positive growth in part because
yeah.
of that. And you don't get that kind of content unless people vibe, and working with your partner can be tricky. I mean, it can also be really
hmm
great. So it's no different than the rest of your damn
Yeah,
life.
exactly.
E-
um,
Except at the end of the day, you got to make sure that, all the steam's been blown
hmm
off and everyone comes together as people instead of
hmm
coworkers at the end of the day. But so how's it been working with your now husband?
It's great. It's so great. He's here. You want to come say hi? Or no? Do you want to come say hi? Yeah, it's so great. Like, and it's so like, I just have to brag for a minute, before you get on here, but, he has been truly like, sometimes you'll be in the trenches and people lean over and ask you for $20, you know? And
Yeah,
this
right.
one, I have to brag on him for a second because, in a sense of my life, like, it could be very, very easy when, you meet someone to, um, it could end. Anything can end it. And this man could have easily just like walked away from me in a situation. Not over, I didn't do anything bad. I didn't do nothing bad. I just want everybody to know I didn't do nothing bad. But just when I told you, I asked, I was talking to God and like, I'm lost and how do I get out of this? And I woke up next to a shovel. That man picked up a shovel and he helped me move my mountain. And I have never had a man in my life do that for me. Um, and so, he is an angel on earth. I don't care what anybody says. So, my best friend of all time, and how blessed I am that he's a part of my life outside of work and outside of cameras and outside of, anything that goes on social media. Um, like he has, when it's us two, I mean, you know, we're homies, like it's just the whole world stops like and keeps moving, but we're just here, it's kind of really cool. I've been waiting my whole life to be loved the way he loves me. So I'm very love
Yeah,
this man.
I saw you guys doing your couple dance
Oh,
video.
oh
It
my
was
God. And this is the perk
kind
of
of
being
amazing.
married to him, is that he was shooting me,
He
well,
can
and he was shooting
dance.
me for a magazine cover, so like, I had gotten this email and they were like, hey Ray, we need some images for this da 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 da, and for a magazine cover. And Evan goes, what, a magazine cover? This is a job for me. And so he immediately starts setting up the studio, and he's like in the shop, and he's like getting everything nailed down. And we kind of were testing the shot on one day, and then the second day we actually shot the image. And while sometimes I know I look tough, but I'm scared of everything. I am terrified of everything, and it takes me a little while sometimes to loosen up on camera, where it seems like people, I get the compliment that I'm natural on camera all the time, but that's not the case sometimes. I tend to like be in my own head and feel very ugly or feel whatever, we all do it. And so every single
Oh yeah.
time I'm having that feeling, he does exactly what he did there. He, every time, we just never catch it on camera, and we just so happened to catch it on camera, and it was like the sweetest little thing. He goes, oh, he's like, we edited a photo, or not edited, but like picked which one we wanted, yada yada yada. And he's like, oh, before I leave, I got a little something for you. And then he just sent it to me, and I was like, oh my heart. So cute. He is the sweetest man. Okay, now you can come say hi. Now you can come say hi.
Now that we're almost
Yeah,
done
we're
talking
almost
about
done
you.
talking about you. Now you can come say hi. He and you two are really good friends as well.
Hell yes, we are. What
Can
up,
you
dog?
sit in here? There you go. Is that better?
How are you, Dumpy?
What is
I'm
happening,
good.
buddy?
Things are wonderful
I'm-
over here.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Looks like it. So there.
Yes, can you hear us or no? Okay, good.
I can, yeah. It was in and out for a second there, but
Good.
you're good
Yeah,
now.
we're mixing.
We're mixing headphones right now.
So I'm sure that makes. I'm
Stereo
sure that
1,
does
stereo
wonders
2.
for your software.
Yeah, it absolutely loves it. How's everything been? Everything's great. You're out there been creating a whole bunch. What do you have going on right now?
A whole bunch of fun stuff. We are, both collaborating on art and the home and family. So it's been super awesome. There's not a more fun, more real person to work with and photograph. And, I insist sometimes, like, even if she's not feeling it based on like the last year, I'm like, oh no, the camera's coming out today. Like today's really important. So sometimes you don't know it just looking at a photo, but there's a lot of story behind it and a lot of reason that photo exists. So, and I have to say, I do help sometimes.
That's cool.
But
he does.
I can't prove it because if I'm not photographing, then you can't see the work. So
we do
It
get a lot
didn't
of these
happen.
moments too where he's like, honey, he'll be filming, the cameras in his hands. He's like, honey, either I can film this or I can help you. One or the other. We can't do both. So it's kind of become like a cool bit in some of our Northern Tool videos that he just makes a slow appearance walking in, does something with the dog and leaves. It's pretty funny.
mhm.
And then leaves me to do the hard work when really he's still helping.
I love it. Yeah, I gotta
I
get the
know.
cameo in there. So, Evan, you and I have been homies for years now. And whenever I discovered that you were madly and deeply in love, it made me so fucking happy for you. And then get to see it come together for myself. And then, like, both of our households becoming close together and all of that has been an absolute, it's a joy. And it's only just begun. And it's I just feel like we're some really lucky people right now. But there was a moment in your life where you knew that you wanted to be the other shovel that helped move a mountain. And what was going on in your heart at the time where you were like, this is why I'm here? Was it I'm in love, or this is me simply serving, or
Well,
both?
I called it like Babe Ruth before I met her because I met her on a Prism shoot for my garage with Harley Davidson. And when Jake said we were gonna film Rae Ripple, I was like, oh fuck yeah, this is like. And he was like, what? Like, like, do you know her? I'm like, no, but I want to. And so
Also, I'm hearing his story.
So
I make
badly.
him tell these stories all the time.
So we met on set. The first photo of us together is a behind the scenes shot of me taking a photo of her for the cover. And
That's cool.
before the edit was done, we were married.
Hardcore
we were
together.
Yeah, we were married together. Basically finished the edit with her. I was finishing the edit while she was breaking down my kitchen in Milwaukee to move in. So it was like, it took us 40 years to find each other. So like, why waste any more time with this dating bullshit?
Pretty much.
Yeah. And then life, when I moved here, she asked me like, what's your 5-year plan? Which I would suggest to most people ask that before you get married, but we waited.
We waited till after.
Yeah. Usually.
And I just had this feeling. I was like, this is like a tilling moment. Like, I don't know why, but it's like kind of like scorched earth, like let's burn some stuff, let some stuff die and restart. And then that became really, really, really true for both of us. I became sober, which has been something I've wanted for a long time. So that helped me reach a calmness and awareness and a new look at approaching life in a much more helpful, healthy time. And like, man, just as like those months of sobriety kicked in, life kicked us in the teeth, and I was there to, I mean, not only like give her hugs and tell her she's beautiful, but like do the fucking work. Like this this room here looked like a scene from True Detective with like some stuff that we were figuring out and breaking things down. And so like if I wasn't here to help her, she'd still be there. If she wasn't here for me, I'd still probably be drinking at the squirrel cage. So like both of us meeting, we knuckled down and fixed some shit. And yeah, this last year has been, we joke because we say like we wouldn't change a thing. If you look at it on paper, it'd be like, I would fucking change that and that and that and that. And that would have been cool if that didn't happen. But really, all of those things happening have just been like,
Blessings
yeah,
in disguise, which set us up really beautifully in life and for our next year as well. And so, really how he, as much as, he helped me dig myself out of the trenches, I feel like equally like we did this for each other. I think he in too, like
Yeah.
he left Milwaukee, and I left Texas at the same time, like because he basically, moved right in, and which I'm not suggesting jumping off a cliff to anyone by any means, but sometimes you can jump off the cliff,
But
yeah,
if you know, you
and
know.
I sadly have chased love for so long that it outran me so many times. And sometimes whenever you stop and you start loving yourself, it finds you. And I think Evan and I have found each other at the exact same time that we both needed each other to save each other. And that's exactly what happened, which was really cool. So I wouldn't change a thing.
me neither.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
think it's awesome. It's wonderful to watch. Not just, I mean, and mostly because I'm personally invested in both of you, but like also being, someone who is madly in love, and I love that I get to
I
talk about
love
love on my podcast. I do too. It's amazing. It is the solution. But like getting to be, we're engaged. We get married next year, and so we've got our friends that we get to look to for, further inspiration that have, not lost that whole look in your eye, Then every time I see Sabine, I about fall apart 10 times.
I know I've seen y'all
It's the most,
together.
but it's the most amazing thing ever. It's ridiculous. And it's like that all the time. Like, it's absolutely wonderful. And I want nothing for my friends but that kind of joy, that kind of love, that kind of trust. To not be, I mean, I don't know, not necessarily to be vulnerable, but to be so transparent with your partner, and the level of acceptance that both sides need to come to grips with. Is like, okay, so we're going to be life partners now. It's like, cool, I see you, I accept you. Who do we want to be? Like I said early on, whenever Sabine and I were still doing the what's your 5-year plan scenario, I was like, it's like, so here's something that I believe in, and I'm really gonna need you to sign on for it. And she was like, okay. I was like, I don't want to be stuck in my way, and I don't want you to be stuck in yours, but I want to find out how we can get
Right.
stuck in our way. So as we go through this whole relationship, let's just make sure that we think of it as mutual people coming together for this happen. You know, it's not, you don't want it in all things. You still got to be a human, but like really growing together is really what the message has been. And she and I have both just been through exponential growth. I've seen you guys just come together, gangbusters, and the universe is recognizing that stuff. Like it's opened up its arms with opportunity, not just for partnership, but also for, you know, professional and creative outlets at the same time. And it's just really rad. Like it's something that just, it makes me feel like I've started to surround myself with the people that I need to be surrounding myself with, because we're all on the same page, almost in the same chapter of the same book, you know. And it's super comforting. I haven't had community experience like that before, and it's awesome. So keep being
Hell
fucking
yeah,
sweet to
y'all
each
do.
other
Like
and shit.
we're ready for little baby dumpies, you know.
Oh yeah, that's happening. There's gonna be some very
Oh,
feral
oh
children that
my
have
gosh, and
very
I
good
can't wait
manners.
till they come here because Auntie Rae will spoil the shit out of them. So I can't wait. Can't wait. I call it
Absolutely,
first dibs on
yeah.
babysitting.
Make
You
us
know, if
upset
you
by the
ever need
things
to
you.
send them our way for a week at summer camp, you know, at Aunt Ray's and at Uncle Evan's house, then we can make some fun happen here.
Yeah, I'll put
Hell
extra
yeah.
stamps on the box so they don't, so they know it's for Gile.
So good.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be cool to see. Like you can't grow a family. There's one thing that I've learned just by listening is you can't grow a family without community. So, like, as it does take a village, and oddly enough, Sabine and I's village is all over the place, like everywhere. Pick a coast, pick a border. We have people there, and it's going to be really cool to see. I don't know what it's like to bring up, you know, a couple of young ones amongst the most adventurous people I've ever met, and that's basically our friend group.
Yep.
And I think it's rad. I think that, you know, we talked early on about growing up analog, and like one of the things that I really kind of want to do is I want to not track my kids.
Yeah.
I want them to have the experience that I had whenever they gave me a BMX bicycle and said, "We better not see you till the sun goes down." I don't think
You
they
know,
really knew how far we
weirdly,
went.
my kids
Because,
grew up like that, being in Big Spring, but this was before Netflix, before any of that kind of stuff. We were still very, very, very regular people. I mean, I lived in a 600 square foot house, two bedroom. I slept on the couch for 5 years while my kids had the bedrooms. So we were still like that kind of thing. And Cash, all his friends live within 2 blocks of him. So you would not see him from the time that he came home from school. Him and his friends would jump on their bikes and they wouldn't come home until dark. And we lived in such a tiny community, a small oil field town. And, you know, oil was down. So the town's basically a ghost town. And so he rides then and they ride,
yeah,
somebody would have money, somebody wouldn't, or they would all get some money together. That's how they all ate all day. They would just go ride their bikes all over town and to the college and to things and like not come home. So weirdly, my kids kind of got like that type of lifestyle. I think it's like also area is everything too, but and you know,
yeah.
but yeah, I support that so
I
much
was.
because I was the same.
I think it's the way. I think it'll make me nervous, but I think it'll be worthwhile. Like I think that that's a really important experience to have. Have you guys seen the video of the kid getting caught? Was it ding dong and ditching? And the lady goes, does your father know you're doing this? Yeah, he's right over there. She was like, what? He goes, yeah, he thinks that this is a core childhood memory and he
Yeah.
wants to be a part of it. And then you hear dad from the side go, I got to play this on the show. And then when you hear dad from like the cheap seats going, hey, what's going on? And he goes, I've been caught. He goes, run, you idiot. And then dad just barrels across the screen and the kid goes, sorry, bye.
So
And just starts
funny.
running. I was like,
So
yes.
funny.
I was like, that's a role. That dad is
Those
my role
things
model
are
right
so
there.
much fun. Like Chloe was in cheer and you know, of course, cheer things, football things, whatever. You know, homecoming season, like football season is huge in Texas. That's all I care about is high school football. Um
Oh
So
yeah.
the pranks between cheerleaders and football players and like all that kind of stuff took place on a regular basis. And so you already know if they said, "Hey, I want to go toilet paper so and so's house. Let's load that shit up. Let's go. I'm going." Yeah.
Quick and in a hurry. My mom's driving too because whoo, I'd never seen a parent so excited to throw toilet paper at a stranger's house. Like,
So
she would
awesome.
drive so fast in that big GMC conversion van. I was like, who is this woman?
Same.
I was at
Let's
a flat
go.
track race in Springfield, and it's a state fair, so we were messing around in the state fairgrounds, breaking into here, breaking into there. I was 35 at the time, but be
35 at the time.
because of flat track, there was some kids with us that were like, 20 years old, because of the lower tiered racing that was also going on. So we were just kind of fucking around, and this security kind of pinned us into this area that we had been trespassing in, and the cops waiting there to bust us. And then one of the younger kids, he's like, "Hold on, I'm gonna call my mom." And I'm thinking, like, what's your mom like? Okay. He calls his mom, and he's like, "Yo, mom, the cops are waiting. Like, we're at the big slide on the state fairground." Okay, I love you. Bye. And then couple seconds later, the cop fucking peels out and leaves. And I'm like, dude, what
No
happened?
way.
And his mom had called in a false report that someone had wrecked on their motorcycle on the opposite end, so the cops sped out. And like the mom just knew, like the mom knew
Wow.
how to get rid of security at state fair races. And it was like, it was so cool. And I was like, man, that's
gangster.
sick, and like we weren't vandalizing, we weren't stealing, we're just messing around, and it was state fair. It wasn't actually like police or anything, but like to have a mom step up to like, yeah, I'll take care of security. Like be back before midnight. It was cool.
Very cool.
We had cool friend moms and dads that would like let us in high school and stuff. Like, if you're gonna drink, you're gonna do it at our house. And I was like, all right, I don't even care to drink,
Yeah.
but I'm going to now. All right. But like, they're supportive, like giving you a good environment to go be a little mischievous, because I do feel like there are way too many rules for so many ridiculous things. Like, being bad is one thing, being a mischievous little nosy son of a bitch is another. Like, that's
I
like
call 'em
what I
good, bad
thrive on.
decisions.
And for some
Good, bad
reason, yeah,
decisions. Go make
yeah,
good, bad decisions.
character
Like
building.
there's a line there too. Like, getting arrested is not a good, bad decision. But
I started a fight club
No, that's
when I
not
was
fun.
like 16. We'd sneak out, we'd fight each other with sparring gloves on, and then sneak back in the house.
Really?
Good bad decision. Yeah, little fight club in Augusta, Kansas.
I love that.
Fight Club.
See,
I
that's
didn't know
awesome.
that.
Neither does my mom.
And neither does my mom. What's her Instagram? I'm
send it
gonna
to
tag
you.
her in this.
Gail Bond. Gail Bond.
Probably following you, to be honest. It wouldn't surprise me. Going back to community and talking about community and support with you guys, like, I never had a community or a team or a village, and it's really cool because like now I have a village. Like, Evan's family they're the kindest people I've ever met in my life, like, which has never ever been the case. And I'm sure anybody can relate. Like, sometimes, like, you're in a relationship with someone and their family is absolutely insane, and so to have a good family attached is a luxury. And his family is always
Yeah.
been so supportive and kind, and I can be myself, and she is totally okay with that, which is, I know I'm a little unhinged and feral, but she loves it, I guess. I don't know. He said yeah.
I mean, it's one of the
Yeah,
things
so
I
I
like about
mean,
you.
me and her have such a great bond. I love her to death. So having a community is really cool. New experience that's happening.
It's a big blessing with family like that, especially if you haven't been able to have like that traditional experience of love like that. it's a whole lot of awesome. I'm really glad that you guys have that, because holidays with family you love and like are a gas. They are so much fun. Like, no one's got to fake it. Like, you're there for all the same reasons, and you truly like love and appreciate one another. Yeah. Are you guys going to go visit family on the
We're
holidays?
staying here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just kind of got your
Too,
place all to yourself.
like we have been traveling so much this year that we have set ourselves and our schedule up that like from now until the rest of the year home, we want to make like our last year's holidays was not the nicest. And so this year we really truly get to dive into the
Take them
holidays
back.
and just be home for the holidays and enjoy Thanksgiving, enjoy Christmas, and enjoy each other too, which is really nice. And so we're staying home. We've visited, we've done all the things this year. And so we're home this year. I think mom's coming to visit us at some point soon. But
Yeah, I'm more of a let's visit the family on August 15th for 2 weeks.
yeah.
No holiday. Like holidays are
Just
holidays are like
because.
for home for me, and I think this one will start establishing some traditions and
Yeah.
settle down, lock the door, and not fucking leave.
Yeah, we spent some time
Settle down, lock the
Mhm.
door, lights down low.
Yeah, we already did your family this
Oh, that's
summer
dope.
too. Like we
Mhm.
spent what was a week in Kansas or something. So we want to be home for the holidays.
Yeah. Hey, Bean,
You better
what are
come
you
say
doing? Bean just got
hi.
home.
Hello, babies.
If you put your head on my head, you can hear
Hello.
him.
Oh, hi.
I know,
We're the
like
cutest. Look at us.
say bye.
I know. It's so good.
We love you too.
Oh, I love you guys. I love you so much.
Hey, give me one.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Mwah. I love you.
This is the loveliest
You're cute.
podcast you've ever had.
Do you want to get married?
You should.
I want to get married. That's cool. We should get married. Maybe,
I'll be the
just
flower girl.
put on my list of things to do. Oh, Ray said she'd be the flower girl. I'm so excited
It's
for that
gonna be
experience.
awesome.
It's gonna be
And
wonderful.
when you have such a bright future, y'all are just so perfect together. Your future is so bright. Like everything's so bright for you guys. Like it's only just gonna magnify that brightness that y'all shine. And really just unify y'all. It's really great. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait.
Thanks. That's really nice to hear, and I totally agree. I haven't been more confident about something I think in my entire life, and I've had a little bit of swagger here and there. Like it's just there's no question. Nothing. The only thing I do is just fight the world off. Like everything in my home is wonderful. Dare I say perfect most days, like, and all other days damn near it. It's just awesome. We help each other out a lot. We share a lot of the duties, and which is a duty. But we share a lot of the duties, which I always wish that that my mom had help at our house. Like she had a full-time job as well once we were of a certain age, but then she still had to take care of the entire house and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a joy to be able to, contribute beyond going to work and coming back and being respectful and sweet. Like it's most of our days off that we get together, we kind of get one day off a week together. Our jobs just do that. And a lot of times we just do us. We'll hang out in the house. We'll clean, listen to music. We cook a lot because I'm the baker in the house and she's the cook in the house. And so I do my best to not go in a collision course with my beautiful tiny woman because I don't want to hurt her while I'm trying to bake a loaf of bread.
That's so funny.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Well, guys, I feel so lucky to have been able to own so much of your time, and I also feel lucky to be able to have the time to share with you. I love you guys so much, and really love what's going on for you guys personally and professionally, and I can't wait for the hangouts that we have coming
Dollywood.
up, and I'm excited to. We gotta
Dollywood?
intersect at Dollywood. Like how long are we gonna allow ourselves to talk about that?
We could
Fall.
There has to be a limit.
Fall at Dollywood.
fall Dollywood.
Wait, spring.
Spring Dollywood.
Spring.
Spring Dollywood.
Spring. All right. Are we gonna
Yes.
try to
Yes.
make it a motorcycle thing,
Motorcycle
or
thing, which is a great
Ooh,
opportunity
great
to
answers?
talk about trading in the rope glide that I built for board free.
Oh, absolutely. Let's
I
talk
haven't
about
done
that.
one too.
No.
I would like to.
He's
Nope.
like, no, I sure do
Or
not.
if we don't do motorcycles to Dollywood, I think minivans. We each buy a minivan.
I love this idea.
Ooh, what's our
$2,000.
budget?
Yep. Okay.
That's a good budget.
Oh, that's good.
Where are you going?
I love you. Well,
Okay.
we're
That
gonna
would be
talk about
fun.
motorcycles and stuff. And,
No, I think some people try to go because I'm yapping, and we've been
oh, and Bean's
yapping.
home
And
too,
Bean's home.
right?
He needs to go
He's like,
hang out
Bean
with
is
his friends.
home.
Hang out with you.
See? I guess we're just going to
Let's
have
do
to keep
it.
friends and keep talking about stuff.
Okay,
Okay.
well, go.
I love it. Well, you
Same,
guys
you
get to loving
too,
each other.
send our love, you know, our way, and have fun. We'll see you later.
We will. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
buddy.
It was an absolute blast.
Can she hear me or no? Bye.
Bye.
No? Okay. Tell her I say bye.
No, she says bye. They say bye. Well, sorry about the signal there towards the end. It got a little bit shaky. They out there in them woods, but it was really, really, really great to get to sit and spend so much time with someone that I love so much. And then, of course, my buddy Evan jumping in there, the husband, always makes my heart warm as well. And I didn't know a lot of the things I guess a lot of people already knew about Rae. And I don't really know why that is. I guess I don't do deep dives on folks whenever I meet them. I just like you and hitch to your wagon if you let me, and we just go about life with a smile on our face whenever we get to see each other. So, the whole purpose of the show for me personally is to get to dive deeper and to get to know my people better. As you've noticed, there's no randoms on the show. It's only people that are from my life, whether it's a extremely close friendship or something that's more of an acquaintance. But nonetheless, everyone's from my life story, and I'm really grateful for Rae sharing so much time and so many personal anecdotes from her life. And I hope you've enjoyed it. The show is always presented by Rider Justice, the ones to call whenever you need help the most. And yeah, do me a big favor. Follow the subscribe. Hit that little subscribe button. Go beep, subscribe. Like. Throw a comment in there. All these things help my show get traction, and they'll help it grow, which will allow me to do more of it. Who knows? Maybe one day this is what I do primarily, and we have episodes coming out, several times a week instead of whenever time allows. These crazier things have happened. Give the subscribe, throw a like on there, drop a comment. All those things are free and extremely helpful to myself and to the show. And of course, sharing is also free. So as you see some of the social media content come out, just give that stuff a little repost action in your stories or something. I don't know. I'd be grateful. I might even get you a hug the next time I see you. I've been no. Of course, you can find the show exactly where you're watching and listening to it. And then social media is everything I Speak Good or I Speak Good podcast. And this has been a really cool ride. I appreciate everyone's feedback throughout the year. And that's going to bring the final episode of season 1 of the I Speak Good podcast. I can't even say it now. kind of momentous. I don't know. I just kind of got hit in the feels whenever I said it out loud. I guess I got some thinking to do. See you guys next season, which is hopefully in about 2 weeks from whenever you're watching this. Peace, y'all. Thanks for watching. So much more to come. I speak good.
Oh,
What do you... Can I help you?
no.
What are you doing here?
I'm really sorry. I was going to Ding Dong ditch you guys. I'm super sorry.
Does your dad know you're out here doing this? I will call him right now.
Yeah, he does know.
I doubt that.
What's the hold up?
I've been caught!
Oh, run!
Is that your dad?
Yeah.
He goes ding dong ditching with you?
Yeah, he says it's a core childhood memory and he wants to be a part of it.
Run!
Okay. Gotta go!
Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh.